Before we get started, just hit the subscribe button. Just takes a second. Just go click. Jared Hoyman with VisibleTour.com, and guess what? We're gonna shoot a 360 today. Yeah, that's right. Pretty exciting stuff. Especially since the last video I did was like 2 years ago on what you need in order to shoot a 360. I figured this would be the best time to show you how to do it. So right now I've got, where is it? There it is. All right, I have the Canon 6D. It's the Mark I. Not that sexy, but it's a Mark I. And I've got the Rokinon 12mm. Since it's a full frame camera, you want the 12mm fisheye. If it is a APS-C, then you're gonna want the 8mm. Yeah, that's right, 8mm. So right now, I'm just gonna show you how to set up the camera. All right, just a quick little note here. I shoot in medium raw, so it gives me latitude to work with, but it's not a ginormous file. You're gonna wanna do everything in manual mode. You're gonna be set at infinity right there. And then you are also going to be at f8. So it's a manual lens, so once you set these, you don't have to touch them again. Unless you bump it, then you're gonna have to fix it. We wanna go to the white balance. Now everything has to be manual because if you do automatic, it's gonna shoot different white balances with all the photos. I go to Kelvin, and what you do is I just leave it at 4,000 or put it to 4,000 if it isn't already there. It's a nice base to work with, especially with the lighting inside of a house. My recommendation is outside is just put it for outside setting for white balance. But for inside, put it at 4,000 and then you can change the white balance in post-production a lot easier. I change the timing. So I put it on a 2-second timer. And that way, when I set it on the tripod and I click it, I don't have to worry about bumping it. So I set it to multiple brackets, 3 brackets, one exposed correctly, one underexposed, and one overexposed, because I'll shoot HDR a lot. So there's more visibility in the building and outside the windows as well. Now that you got through the boring but needed stuff about your camera, you then have to set it up on the tripod here. And what we have is the face plate. So this face plate goes right underneath here. That took much longer than needed. Okay, so then once you have it as straight as possible across, tighten it, click it, then it just slides right in. Again, that took a little bit longer than needed. All right, the next thing you're gonna wanna need is dental floss. You don't need dental floss, but you may need it if you don't have anything else. Because what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna set and figure out what the center of the lens is and make sure that it's lined up. So there is a cross right in the center there where you want the center of the lens to line up. And so what I do is I take the dental floss, or you can just use string with a little bit of weight on it, and just put it in the center, eyeball it, in the center of the lens where it's at, and see where it falls. And so I already did this ahead of time, so it is actually right at the cross. But if it's not, then you would just adjust it. There's a slider here, and you would slide this back and forth until it is right there. And then you're gonna wanna make sure your lens is all the way to the front, so it comes right down the center right there, and then just tighten right there. All right, and now finally, you're gonna wanna make sure that it is level, so you're gonna use the ball head and adjust, and you see the bubble right there, and it's golden. Okay, we're in. Now it's set to 60 degrees, which gives you enough overlap to work with. And then what you would do is then you would loosen right here, and you would straight up, and then you would duck your head because you're gonna be in the shot. Click away, and to be on safe measure, you can always do straight down. I always recommend kind of getting off to the side right here. That wraps it up. I hope that you did subscribe. I'm going to get more information out to you. I'm gonna keep content alive. I'm gonna be better at doing this, I promise. I know YouTube is like pushing for people to get at least 1,000 by February 20th or somewhere along there. I am not close. I mean, I'm maybe 300 to 500. But if you can subscribe and boost my channel, that would help encourage me to do more content as well. The next video I'd like to do is kind of show you what equipment you could be using, what software to use, the best way to stitch 360s. So stay tuned, and until then, I look forward to talking to you. I think that's it. I'm out. Bye.